It's time to go over our top 10 tight ends for week 12. We're getting right into this video, starting here at number 10. We're going Tucker Kraft. Now, this is a tight end that's starting to get some opportunities right this year. So a lot of it was Luke Musgrave last year, but well, Tucker Kraft's really taken over that 1A role at the tight end position. The problem with the Packers offense is that there's so many weapons on this offense that Jordan Love sometimes don't always hyper target Tucker Kraft. He doesn't always have this amazing game. He may only have a couple targets sometimes, but he gets consistent targets, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets a game. That's what you're getting out of Tucker Kraft. He's really good at catching the football and putting up a lot of fantasy production. So this week they are taking on a 49ers defense that ranks 5th against opposing tight ends. He's really looking for a bounce back week from what he had last week. But again, I think they're going to need him to be able to push the ball up and down the field. It's going to be a good game overall, and he should be able to get enough volume to be fantasy relevant here in week 12 against these 49ers. Like I said, there should be quite a bit of fantasy points on both sides to be able to keep the game healthy and really close, which means Tucker Kraft should have plenty of opportunities to score a lot of fantasy points for you. Move right along here at number 9. First guy that is on our rankings so far this year, that's gonna be Will Dissly. Coming in here at number 9. The Chargers, he's kind of taken over that 1A role now. We didn't know who was gonna be the main guy. Is it Hayden Hurst? Is it Will Dissly? Well, now we know it's definitely Will Dissly. Now that Justin Herbert's kind of heating up a little bit, right? They got a lot of wide receivers out there that's trying to make plays for themselves. Well, Will Dissly's out there actually doing a damn thing himself, so he's doing really good. And again, volume is king. When he's out there, he's getting the play on the field, he's getting the volume as far as targets goes. That's what you want for these sleeper tight ends. I think Will Dissly's a nice sleeper tight end, easily into my top 10. You already know the tight end position is mostly cockadoodle anyway, so you're trying to see value where you can get it. Will Dissly, definitely a value tight end for you. Had to put him here at number 9. This week they are taking on a Ravens defense ranks 23rd against opposing tight ends. He looks like the clear-cut, tight end in this offense. Like I was saying, he was taken over from Hayden Hurst. He is the man to go. He is the guy that Justin Herbert is looking for quite a few times in a game, and that's what you want. When you're looking for just a dart throw at the tight end position, you want some volume. He's getting the volume. Get the guy in your lineup. Will Dissly, number 9. Never thought I'd ever say that, but I did. It is what it is. Week 12, get him into your lineup. So move right along here at number 8. I'm going Cade Otton, and yes, I've dropped him down in my rankings just a little bit because Mike Evans is coming back. We saw the history that when Cade Otton is on the field by himself, he's getting a ton of targets. If he's on the field with either Chris Godwin or Mike Evans, he really doesn't get targeted as much. Now, the question still remains. Now, because now we know Cade Otton can get the job done, has that earned him more targets when the other wide receivers like Mike Evans will be on the field? Will he still get those type of targets? It's going to have to be a wait and see type of game. So I did have to drop him down just a little bit because I do think his targets and his opportunity and his yardage will end up coming down. This week they are taking on a Giants defense that does rank first against opposing tight ends. He will be continued to be involved, and now now that Evans is back, right? That's the question you've got to ask. Will he be involved, right? And that's what I'm saying. Even though they are the best at the tight end position, at the end of the day, all they have is Mike Evans. They're going to need Cade Otton. He's going to get some targets. I just don't think he's going to get the workload that he was used to getting. So don't think you're getting that type of production from Cade Otton, but I think it'll be just enough to land him into my top 10 tight ends for week 12. We're moving right along here at number 7. We're going Hunter Henry. Now this has become Drake May's kind of go-to guy at this point, right? He always looks for Hunter Henry to get quite a few yards, and I'm telling you, he's one of the better tight ends you can get right now in fantasy football. And that's not crazy to even say, right? This week they are taking on a Dolphins defense ranks 18th against opposing tight ends. He's a consistent target, right? He gets consistent targets with Drake May at the quarterback position. We saw the difference between when May was quarterback and when he wasn't. When Jacoby Brissett's garbage ass was in there, he wasn't doing anything, right? But Hunter Henry, he's got some type of thing going on with Drake May, and the connection is real. Drake May's continuing to get better as he develops. He's starting to really start throwing over 200 yards, consistently. A lot of those yardage, maybe at least 50 at a time, is coming to Hunter Henry, and it wouldn't be surprised to me if he has a big game here in week 12. So let's move right along here. At number 6, we're going TJ Hawkinson. Now we're starting to see his legs come underneath him. We're starting to see him have some good games. Some games he's almost irrelevant. So what are you going to get out of TJ Hawkinson? We all know the Vikings offense is all Justin Jefferson. You get a lot of Jordan Addison. And then TJ Hawkinson is kind of sprinkled in as an afterthought. But again, it's getting a little bit better for TJ Hawkinson. I don't mind him as a tight end. This week they are taking on a Bears defense ranks 11th against opposing tight ends. Owners could use an old Hawkinson game at this point, right? And I know that the Bears are very good against the wide receivers. So if they are, for some odd reason, able to hold a little bit of Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison in check, he's going to use TJ Hawkinson a lot more. So this could actually be a really good game for Hawkinson if Darnold wants to start targeting the tight end position this week against a Bears defense that isn't too shabby. They're not what they were at the beginning of the season, but they're still a good defense. So if they're trying trying to take away that passing game from the wide receiver position, he might be able to focus on TJ Hockenson a little bit more to give you a better fantasy outing this week. Let's move right along here. At number 5, we're going David Njoku. This is a tight end I told you guys last year. It was Deshaun Watson. He was the main reason why the cockadoodle stats were there. And, when Joe Flacco took over, David Njoku do good. Now, Jameis Winston taking over, David Njoku is doing good again. I love myself some David Njoku, especially in Dynasty 2. Go ahead and get this guy. I think he'd be really good for you guys. But this week, he is taking on a Steelers defense ranks 14th against opposing tight ends. He's a huge part of this offense, and he's going to continue to be a huge part of this offense. He's a big-bodied, physical tight end that can get up the field, right? He can do some stuff. He's good. He almost had a nice touchdown last week. That ended up didn't happen, but it was really close for him to catch that touchdown. But like I said, at any given week, he can absolutely explode. This week could be one of those weeks. Had to easily put him in here at my top 5 tight ends of the week. Again, it's not hard to get into a top 5. You just got to be kind of relevant in football at this point, because it's really hard to find 10 good tight ends in fantasy football. So that's neither here nor there. So I think just David Njoku overall is going to be a great play for week 12. Get the guy into your lineup. I think you'll be happy that you did. Come here at number 4, we're going George Kittle. This is going to be a tight end, right? That's a big part of this offense of the 49ers, and they're going to be playing in a game that's going to be a lot of back and forth with Jordan Love on the opposite side. They're going to be scoring some points, so they're going to need Brock Purdy. I'm hoping he's healthy with his shoulder injury, but if he's going to be playing, you still got Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, a lot of pieces on this 49ers offense. George Kittle, he's been having more boom than bust games this season, and I'm loving to see it. But this week, they are taking on a Packers defense that ranks 21st against opposing tight ends, right? He's been a stud all season long, and it's not going to start slowing down right now, right? They need George Kittle to continue to do what they're doing on offense, at least until Christian McCaffrey really starts getting into the fold and being the old style Christian McCaffrey, if he's ever going to get to that point ever again. But I do like myself a lot of George Kittle. He should be fine this week in a matchup that they're going to need him to perform in. So I like George Kittle in week 12. Move right along here at number 3, we're going Trey McBride. Trey McBride again, he is one of the main guys, right? As Marvin Harrison continues to develop and continue to be the guy for this offense, Trey McBride is getting a healthy dosage of targets from Kyler Murray, and I'm loving to see it. But this week they are taking on a Seahawks defense that ranks 19th against opposing tight ends. I say all the time, right? Volume is king, and the one thing that McBride is getting is volume. He loves to get targeted. It doesn't matter if it's for a first down or a touchdown. He's looking for McBride, and they're rocking and rolling. Now, it's getting a little bit less now that he's really targeting Marvin Harrison Jr. a lot more now because he's being more reliable. But at the end of the day, McBride could be a second fiddle and just be just fine for fantasy football. I absolutely love him this week in week 12. Get the guy into your lineup. Come right along here at number 2, we're going Travis Kelce. Again, Patrick Mahomes looks for this guy all the time, right? They've had so many injuries at the wide receiver position. Even though D-Hop is getting there, he's starting to mature a little bit. I think he's pulling a little bit of that defense off of Travis Kelce, which is helping Kelce have a good matchup. I told you guys before the season, Kelce and Mahomes, they're going to kind of save these guys at the beginning of the season. Towards the back end, they start ramping them up and getting ready for their playoff push. They don't want to do too much early on in the season, and now you're starting to see that ramp up start to happen for Travis Kelce. They're getting ready for the playoffs, and I think it's going to be a great matchup this week. They're taking on a Panthers defense ranks 32nd against opposing tight ends. No one on this defense can even come close to slowing down Travis Kelce. This is going to be an absolute slaughterhouse for this team. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce is going to be all over the Carolina Panthers. My only worry is that they completely blow up the Panthers and the whole fourth quarter, you may not even see Travis Kelce. So that's my only worry with this is the blowout factor. But when I do my rankings, I try not to consider blowouts when I put my guys where they should be. But against the Panthers team that's dead last, absolute cockadoodle against the tight end position, Travis Kelce is a smash play for week 12. That leads us to number 1. It's got to be Brock Bowers. He's taken the NFL by storm. He was drafted very high, and he is the man. It does help that he's getting hyper targeted by the quarterback position, and he's able to show his talents quite a bit. This week, they are taking on a Broncos defense that ranks 12th against opposing tight ends. He's putting up amazing numbers at this point, and the fact is that the Broncos offense is clicking. The Broncos defense is clicking. They're going to be up, which puts the Raiders in a negative game script, which means they're going to throw the ball a lot, which is almost all season they've been doing doing that, which is going to be hyper targeted for Brock Bowers, and that's just going to equal a crazy butt ton of freaking fantasy points. You got to love Brock Bowers. No other analysis needed. Put the guy in your lineup, set it, forget it, turn your eye, and just go do something else, because he's going to score a lot of fantasy points here in week 12. But that takes it for my top 10 tight ends for week 12, guys. Make sure you guys hit a like button, hit a subscribe button. We are popping out so many videos each and every week to help you set the best lineup possible. We ultimately just want you to win a championship. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Is there any tight ends that you guys know about that didn't make it into my top 10 that you believe should be in the top 10? And I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.